All right. Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. It is Wednesday, May 28th, my grandson's second birthday. And we are live at the New York morning session. Glad everybody can join us. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me just close this off.
Did you get your bathroom renovated?
Yes, it was completed. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Lots of stuff. Okay, let me get this screen over to my other screen and this screen over to my other screen. And we can start going here. Okay. All right, everybody's doing good?
Yep.
I think I called Martin.
Yeah, I had a good yesterday. So I didn't take a train this morning. I got up early and I said, oh, I'll wait. But boy, that would have been a great trade.
Mhm.
It was right around 6 o'clock. I think all we have is FOMC today.
Yeah, 10 o'clock this morning, or no, 2 o'clock, sorry, 2 o'clock this afternoon. We do have 10 o'clock news, but it's orange. Red news at 2 p.m. FOMC meeting minutes. So we shall see how that plays out today. So quite a while from now. We won't be on when it comes on. Okay, taking a look at the NAS. Actually, let me take a look at the US dollar. I haven't done that before. Usually do that. Let's see what. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, something's messed up on my screen here. Bear with me a second. There's my US dollar. I need to do a split screen. Don't know why this changes. I'm going to put the euro at the bottom. Euro US dollar. Okay, and on the 15 minute. Okay, so there we go. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Line them up. There we go. All right, so we have a strong US dollar currently.
Yep.
Let me go to the hourly. Let's put it on the hourly. Let's see how it looks on the hourly. Yeah, relatively strong US dollar compared to the euro US dollar, which is relatively weak.
Yeah, I think this is one of the situations where both the dollar and the indicators went in the same direction. Because they're both good for the economy, and I guess we have Nvidia news. I don't know if it was this morning or this afternoon.
News or earnings? News or earnings, George?
Yeah. Earnings, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
All right, no problem. Okay, so I'm just looking at the NAS. Let's see what's shaping up for today. Just going to mark off the last 15-minute gap here. It's the one right there, 15 minutes. And let me go up to the hourly. So we're in a very strong up move. So from yesterday, wow, quite the
yeah, I did very well.
So, yesterday we saw this 1-2 here, and we were at this level looking for price to take out the highs. There are highs over here as well. They went up, took out the highs. Now we get another move up. They take out those highs. They drop back again. Now they're taking out these highs. We're on our way again. So are we at the top of this move, or do we continue? Right?
I think it gets clearer when you start at the daily.
Either way you go, you can go from low to high
Yeah,
or high to
yeah,
low. So we're right at the top of this
that's for sure.
for them to take out this high here. So and you can see again it's the same type of structure where we start off down here, go all the way up, drop. Did they take out these highs? And that's what we would expect, right?
Yep.
And so they are on their way to doing that. So I go to the daily now, and again, it's the same type of thing. We've got a 1, 2, 3 here. We're pushing up, looking for them to take out these highs and continue up to take out these highs.
That high. Yep. That's
So
what I'm looking for.
We're a long way from that.
Well, we
No.
are, but I mean, that's the objective, I would
That's
think.
the objective, indeed. It looks like, and you remember before it was looking a little bad when we were here because it was possible that we could come back down. And I was saying, I don't want to see this happen. I want to see us continue up. So I was hoping I was wrong that this was going to happen. And so far, so good. We are, we're heading to the upside. So it's not a calamitous decline. So at this point here, since we're looking for price to head up and take out the highs, in this leg right now, we should be looking for a retrace,
Right.
in order to continue doing that, right? And that would make sense. So I'm going to just stretch this across a little bit further here. Okay, so there we go. And if I can get that to stop, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go back down again, down to 4 hour. So we're in this last leg here. So since we have come up to the top here, we need them to go, cut through that and give us a pullback to continue. That would be the ideal 1 hour. So are we at the top of this move? That's what we kind of realized, maybe that now we are at the top of this move and we could see a pullback. So if we saw a pullback, retracement of this move, where would we expect to go to? Approximately 50%, which would mean that we could come back down and take out these lows down here, which is a realistic move. Okay, so 30 minutes. Are we done? Or we haven't gone through that high as yet, interestingly. See that? We have not gone through the high yet. So there's still room for us to go up. First 15-minute, we're pulling back on this leg right now. So if I mark that off, we could pull back 50% or thereabouts on this move down. 5-minute time frame, again, we could pull back in 50% or more.
Right.
So that's kind of how you got to mash it up. Let's see how the 1 minute looks. We're in a downward mode right now. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to look at 8 o'clock this morning. Here's 8 o'clock. And here, 8 o'clock is right here. And we're coming up to 9:30. So far, our high is up here. And our lowest point is current right here before 9:30. So it looks likely that we're going to take out our lows. We've got a 1, 2, 3 here. So we're likely going to go down a little bit more here. So any pullback here would be a sell opportunity before we open in 5 minutes here. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. So you're looking for a little bit of a because this is the high between 8 and 9:30. We're not even close to that. So we're close to the low of the session since 8 o'clock. So again, I've been looking for a pullback here to continue. So for those on YouTube, thank you for joining us. We are the 123 Traders slingshot method that we have. And first of all, we're not advising anyone to take any of our trades. It's just for educational purposes only. If you like what you see, do give us a like and subscribe to the channel. All right, on that note, so we are the 123 Traders. What are we looking for? We're looking for a 123, top or bottom. 123 is denoted as a low point, a high point, and a low point. That's it. A high point, a low point, and a high point. And those points can be fractals, 3-candle fractals consisting of a high, 2 lower highs, or a low and 2 higher lows. Doesn't have to be that way, but it can be that. So those are 2 123s. So what we're looking for are the best 123s, the ones that will give us a move up to about 1.618 Fibonacci expansion from the number 3 point. So in this case, number 3 point, we want to go down to about 1.618 for a target, approximately. So that's our method. That is a slingshot because we're pulling back on our strings, and then we release to get to that level. So that's basically why we call it a slingshot. There are lots of intricacies about entering and so forth, and we can get into that as the time goes along and we see 1, 2, 3 setup. This was a good one here, actually. This 1, 2, 3 right here is a very nice 1, 2, 3 setup. That would have been a great play. So we're looking for price to pull back to about 50% area, and we would jump in and then look to take profits off at 1.618. So let's just see if I put the fibs on this one. Let's see where 1.618 would have taken us. It looks like we're pretty close to that area, very close. 1.618 is right here. So we're very close to hitting target. But it's just an area. So 1.618, 1.414, 1.272, even 1.0 are targets as well. You don't have to go to 1.618. It's just a preference. That's the move there. And now let me see if I put a fib for the retracement. The retracement would be between this high and this low. And we're looking for price to retrace back to about 50% area. And again, it's just an area. Here's 50% right there. So that's kind of what we'd be looking to enter at that point to catch this move going down. And that's the method. And it's the model, and it's very straightforward. All right, so I am getting a pullback, George, right into the sweet spot area. So this in itself here is a 1, 2, 3 as well, from this low and this high point right there. This high point there.
Have a bell.
Oh, and I'm just fooling around here and missing my opportunity. Okay, so
Well, not really.
So will they go back up and take out this high at this point? It looks like they might do that. Yeah, they do. So that's what I would have thought, that they might fool everyone, take everybody out up here. And then they might even go up and take that high as well. It's equal high. So nice, nice ploy there. Okay, now we should be falling. So I'm going to try this as a quick. Wow, they're going so quickly. You'd have to be very quick here to get that position.
Yeah, actually, the ATR hasn't jumped that high, but yet that's interesting.
Wow, look how fast that is going. So
But
I
it's
thought maybe I
fast.
would catch a quick move here on this. Okay, at that point, but it's very fast. So it's actually a sell. They're going to go take out the lows now. So yeah, this is a nice ploy. They make it look like they're going to make a 1, 2, 3 here and go, but instead they go up and take everybody out first. And then off we go to the downside.
It's kind of messy when I look at my tick chart. It almost looks like it wants to do some sliding.
Let's see how Tesla looks here at the open.
It put in wave 5.
So they popped right at the open and then dropping back quite quickly. Okay, so NAS, yeah, it's a tough one here to display, but it would have been a good, if it could have got in up here, that would have been a nice quick drop. I'll wait. So we can wait out the full 1, 2, 3 move. Yeah, very choppy here.
Yeah.
See what Bitcoin's doing this
Right
time.
now I have inverse head and shoulders on a tick chart. This is messy at this point.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad I'm not in it right now.
Okay, so I'm on the 5-minute time frame. We do have equal lows here, so I would expect them to come down, take out those equal lows, and take us down to about 50% move here. So they're doing it in a interesting way here. They're not going straight as I thought they would just go straight down and take out these lows, but they're messing around a lot. So they're accumulating, but they've already taken everybody out who was selling here. So that's the number one thing. And we do have a 1, 2, 3 now. So you can see that we have a 1, 2, 3 now. They've pulled back about 79%. They might go and take that high again. Wow, they do.
Yeah, they're taking the high
Wow.
out.
So they've taken everybody out again. So very, very mean here with the wicks. So it was a 1, 2, 3, but now they've broken that point. So we have to wait for a new 1, 2, 3 now, because that nullifies breach, nullifies the 1, 2, 3. So a 1, 2, 3 your 3 point cannot break above the 1 point, not even by a tick. That nullifies your 1, 2, 3. All right, so we'd have to wait for a new 1, 2, 3. So this is a double takeout.
Actually,
here.
for my look at 2 cents on this thing, it looks like we're headed up rather than down at this point.
That is a total possibility. We're at that point.
I'm not betting the house on it.
Here's my first gap. Okay, I'm going to go back up to the 5. So we're at that crucial point here. From the low here, we had a 1, 2, 3 bottom, 3, 4, and 5. So sweep. We've come back, swept these guys back in. My trajectory is to the downside, not to the upside, but I certainly could be wrong, but looking for them to come down. So it's a tough one for a sell right now. It did come back into this
so
gap
far,
here.
the emphasis still seems to be slightly to the upside, but boy, either way it could go in a heartbeat. Okay, we are getting to the point where we're into the cautious zone as far as putting your stops on. I'm looking at 30 handle stops at this point.
Lots of playing around going on here.
Yeah, these are tough positions to take. They know how to play us at this point.
Yeah, if I had gotten in at the open, if I could have gotten in here, I would have had to get out pretty quick. It'd just be a quick scalp. So, looking for them to break this low, they still haven't done that. So, yeah, it's a tough one right now. They've taken the high again and looking to go even higher. So if we break this high, then yes, I could be totally wrong about us going down. But so far it's holding. So this gap is our last line of defense.
The thing is, they could take the high and then push it down at that point, take the high out and then push it down. But as you say, it's a tough one.
Let's see what S&P has taken the high. Interesting. So there we go. So we have divergence right now. Let's see if the Dow has gone way above the high a long time ago. So it's a totally different ball game. So we do have divergence with the S&P. Let's looking at it, you can see.
Yeah.
So at this point now, it definitely does look like a sell opportunity here. So I've got a fractal on the NAS and on the S&P. They look like they want to go higher still. Yeah, they've taken that out again.
They're going higher. I think they want to catch up really at this point.
Well, we'll see if we'll get that divergence will be broken or will it hold. So we do have 1, 2, 3 bottom. So we didn't get divergence down here. Yeah, they've taken out the highs. All right, so there I go. If they struck the highs first. Okay, so what's going on? What are they doing? Let's go back up to the 5. So
they still have plenty of strength to the upside.
Yeah, they're pushing out, taking out the highs here. So what we have here was a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th wave at that point. Okay, so that was a possibility. Thought maybe we might be done, but nope, they weren't done. Not going to come down and take out the lows just yet. So we take out the highs first. And now we're looking to come back down. So, all right, so if I go back to the 1 minute and go back to 8 o'clock, this was our high. We've taken out the highs rather than taking out the lows first. So quite interesting.
Yeah.
At that point,
Totally
it didn't look like we were going to take the highs out first. It looked like we would take out the lows first. So indeed.
I mean, Lennox, if you draw your points from your 8 o'clock, just go diagonal over the highs, it says that you're going north.
From 8 o'clock?
So a diagonal from that high at 8 o'clock. Where's the? I'm not sure. Is that the 8 o'clock right there where you're marking?
8 o'clock is way over here on the left.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the top point in the middle of the chart and take that diagonals of the highs, and it
Like
says,
this way you're
yeah,
referring.
right.
Yeah.
It says
Yeah.
you should be going north.
Yeah. So 8 o'clock, what we're looking for between 8 o'clock and 9:30
Oh,
is
okay, okay.
between 8 o'clock and 9:30 here. We want to find the high and the low point. So this was it. That was the high and the low. So which one would they break first, the high or the low? And they broke because we were down here at the open. It looked like we were going to break the low first, but they went and broke the high first. So
Yep.
in this case, now we're looking for a 1, 2, 3 top to come back down now too. So, and what that does actually if we go back to the 5 minute, so we're setting up right now for a 1, 2, 3 top. On the 5 minute, what was going on was from this point, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's our fifth wave. So we've finished. We need a 1, 2, 3 here now to come back down, take everybody out now. So that's the ploy. So very, very sneaky on their part there. Very good. So there is our 1, 2, 3. So what's tricky here is that this 1, 2, 3 here took us up 3, 4, 5. So it looked like we could be done at this point, and then we're coming back down. But this move down was actually a fourth wave.
Yeah, that's your fourth wave, and so
Yeah, but they've come down.
We just
They come
reached
back.
the fifth wave now with a new high.
They come back into this area again. That kind of makes it a messy. That's why it looks so messy, and it looked like this could be the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they had bounced off here, then that would have been a lot more cleaner. But when they come in here, it messes everything up. All right, so no problem. No, what is it? No foul, no, what is that saying? No, something, no foul, no.
Yeah, I forget what it is. You blew
You
it
know
out
that
of
one,
my
Peter?
mind.
I think you're saying no harm, no foul. Is that
No
what
harm,
it is?
no
Yeah.
foul, because we didn't take a trade, so we're okay, right? We're still okay. So it's all, so patience is always the key. Thank you, Armin. My brain's in a fog. I
Good
just
morning,
woke up.
Armin.
How are you, sir? Armin's not talking to us anymore.
Well, I just took my mic off. I got to go click it back on. So I am doing well. Thank you very much. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. We'll see you on the flip side.
Here we go. Excellent. All right. So we've got looking for a 1, 2, 3 top now. I've got a 1, 2, 3 top right now, actually. So, so there we go. So there's our 1. Here's our 2. Here's our number 3 point already in. So this could be a sell opportunity at this point now.
I'm still a little bit suspicious of
Little
this
leery
being
of
a
them, eh?
sell.
Well, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we're playing around their NAS, and Bitcoin was setting up a beautiful 1, 2, 3 for us right there. Same kind of thing. And this is a gap that they come back into. Beautiful drop. So there is our model and our play, and we're playing around with NASDAQ, and nothing's happening with NAS. So that's just the way it goes, though. 930 is here. So that became an inverted gap right there. Mark that exactly. Okay, so that's a nice move on the NAS. So on the Bitcoin, so let's see NAS here again. Okay, so NAS is giving us the 1, 2, 3. We're broken through the low. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this guy. Here's my first gap. NAS. I'm going to keep my eye on Bitcoin for another retrace here. So you see they're coming back down now. So this would have been a nice sell.
Yeah, it looks like they're
Possibly. Again, you know, we do have a 1, 2, 3 here, so this they could come back up one more time and take this high as well. We'll see. But looking pretty lean now.
This is one of the situations that can turn on you quickly.
Well, again, since we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom here,
Right.
we could go up one more time to take that high. So that's a possibility, but we shall see if that's so, or if we were done at this point.
Yeah, they're playing with us.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a play as yet, really.
Yeah, right.
So at this point,
yeah, quite often when they have a big red candle down like this, they are trying to get people to go low so that they can pick up their stops to go high.
and Tesla is pretty messy as well.
But they're,
Yeah, Tesla looks like it's ready to come back down.
yeah, it does look that way now.
It was a nice run yesterday.
Yeah, it was. Okay, it seems as though they're deciding that the downward move is the thing, but
Looks so.
without me.
Yeah, that was what I expected. However, you know, at this point, we could have seen another bounce back up, but they said no, they're good. So yeah, so that's the expectation, that they come back and take out these lows, and they have done it so quickly. So that 1, 2, 3 was legit, but they did it so quickly here going up that, yeah, it's very sneaky on their part. That's a tough one today. So you can see even on the S&P, we can clearly see that we had a small 1, 2, 3. Then they moved up real quick, drop it back, and then take off to the high. So again, at this point, we have a 1, 2, 3. However, we could have seen a move back up one more time, but see the S&P hasn't taken out the lows yet, so we could get divergence here again. NASDAQ has cleaned that low right out. So very tough playing here at this point.
Cleaning up now.
Could have taken the bait here and jumped in, but it was this bottom here that was kind of throwing me off a little bit. Do they come back one more time or what? They didn't even give us a retrace. You know, even if they gave us a retrace, that would have been nice, but nope. Straight down. So the ploy was to sweep everybody out. So they grab all the liquidity, make that 1, 2, 3, and then down we come, take everybody out who bought. So very, very, very nice play on their part, and they make sure that no one can take part in their little charade.
Yep. They know how to do it.
So you have to be really super nimble on this one here to get in and get a trade. I'm sure there are people who caught this. There are a number of ways you can jump in. We're looking at the 1, 2, 3 model. I'm also looking at the fractal. So the fractal here with two lower highs, I should say, sorry. That would have given me an entry at that point. I could have taken that at that point. However, a little bit leery of this entire move. They could have gone back up one more time. So it's the reason I decided not to take the trade. So in that case, you missed the move, but you can't catch every move. Would be nice, but you cannot.
They just touched the 61% of my 10-minute 1, 2, 3 from bottom to top. So I'm wondering if they're looking to turn around at this point.
You're getting a retrace now. So I've been on quite a run here with my account. I've had quite a lot of wins, no losses in the last while. So it's been hitting.
That's always nice.
Well over close to 40 plus wins in a row now. So I'm looking for a new record. See if I can break that 59. It's been pretty good. But that's, picking the best opportunities and grabbing profits as quickly as possible and so forth. That's the kind of
Nothing wrong with that.
the plan of attack. All right, so we sweep out the lows. We're getting a pullback, so we're getting a retrace of this entire move, it looks like. So we could come back up to around the gap here. So we might get an opportunity for a sell here, perhaps. Look at 50% retrace. Let's use this guy. Well, 50% takes us right back to that first fair value gap we had this morning. So let's see if we come back up there. And Bitcoin also has come to a screeching halt. If I go to the 5-minute, we came down, they took out the lows, and we're looking for a pullback here as well. So similar type of thing, if a retrace back into this gap here would be perfect. Let's see if we get that. Ideally above 50%. And again, let me look at Tesla. So similar thing on Tesla, big move up, and then 1, 2, now we got a 1, 2, 3 top that's in play. And lots of 1, 2, 3s in here now. So either they're going to come back up and take some of these guys out and then continue down, or they just continue down. So likely scenario there. We're looking for a push back to the upside here. So now it's slow motion.
Yeah. They're trying to keep people guessing at this point.
Yeah, so right from the open, quite interesting how that worked out. So here's our 9:30 candle. We open, looked like they were going to take the lows right away, but they said no. They made a 1, 2, 3 bottom. They went up, took out the highs, created a 1, 2, 3 top, came back down, took out all the buyers, and now they're in a lull. So I'm looking for a retrace still. So it's a potential that we've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom again. Could jump in and to go back up, but it's an iffy play because there's no guarantee that they're going to go back up there. They can fake everybody again and just drop it. So it's a tough one at this point.
Yeah, that current bottom that we have on the 1 minute chart is actually at 62% of the 15-minute move from point 1 to point 2.
Yeah, we came down 50%. So that's what I was looking for, that retrace, but earlier than that. So they did come back into 50% from this level.
Yeah.
Interesting. So this point now has to change to this high here. They're coming down lower. So that would have been the thing. If you're looking to try to make a move back up, that wouldn't have worked out because they can just drop it down, just like I was saying. So yeah, it's a tough one in here. Or our 1, 2, 3, we're looking for 1, 2, 3s that begin or end a move. So this is a beginning move. At least it looked like a beginning move possible here, but it could have also been we could have also been in the middle of a move at that point. So this is a better move here than to get in on a 1, 2, 3 here, because we're still in a structure move. That's our structure is like this. That's what we're looking for, 5 waves. And so in this case, we've got our 5 waves now. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we could expect a move back up to take out these highs in the middle. So looking for them to come back now and take out the highs possibly here, if we're done at this point. Doesn't mean that we're done yet. We could still go back down one more time. So there's a lot of little things to this. So could still go down one more time. So I'm being a bit cautious this morning. But
looking at there's a lot of it's almost even Steven, the up and down movement, buys and sells at this point.
Bitcoin, they didn't give me much of a retrace. I was expecting a larger retrace. They don't give it to me. So again, with Bitcoin, nice 1, 2, 3, we drop. Looking for them to come back up a little bit here, but they don't. They just do a very short retrace, and then on we go again. So the question is now, where are they going to? And we have this
some of my higher
entire
time
level.
frames, I've got looks like a bad candle. We got our 10 o'clock signal now. So let's see if we're going to change and go into an algo move. I'm suspicious of it, but anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm looking for one more drop here.
Yeah, that's
to take that low. And then I would be looking for a buy. So let's see S&P. S&P is much clearer. You can see S&P's, make this a little bigger, S&P's drop here. We've got a clean 1, 2, 3, this drop. They come back, looking for one more drop. And then a 1, 2, 3 here to come back up. So let's see if that plays out. Same thing on the NAS. So the NAS has a similar setup. Similar setup on the NAS. The 1, 2, 3 there, drop. Looking for them to come back down one more time. Create a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So let's see if that works out. So that's our 50% move from this entire, two of them here. Let's see.
It still looks like they want to push it down.
Yeah, I'd expect another down move here. See how Tesla is doing. Tesla must be a tough one right now. Still very choppy. So they did come back up, taking everybody out here. So are we going down or are we going up? Wow. So quite the move here, quite messy. So remember from yesterday, when we looked at Tesla, I go right over to the left here. From yesterday's open, we popped open, we made a 1, 2, 3 right away, made a larger 1, 2, 3. So we were looking at this 1, 2, 3 at this point. And that was saying that would take us up to about 1.618 area. And if I put the fib on that, then that would be something that was a possibility that we could go up 1.618, which was the 165 or 365, sorry, area. And we went up and we hit 365 finally today, interestingly. So there we go. But we did come into that area of where you could have taken the profits off on that move. So quite the move up, then they drop it back, go back up. So we could see them come. We could see Tesla coming down a little further here to sweep these lows first before we continue again. Will they sweep that low one more time or what here?
Yeah, it seems as though they want to go lower.
Okay,
Yeah.
S&P came and tied it, it looks like. 919 even, 919 even. So we have a tie on S&P. So they didn't go through. Will they go through or are they done? So very, very interesting here. We've got a tie and then we've got this divergence in essence. So I'm looking for them to try one more time to take the low. We'll see if they do that. I'm expecting them to sweep this low here.
or at least come close to it.
Got a tie on S&P. So still looking for them to come back down one more time here.
Well,
Possibly.
Well, the downs seem to be outpacing the ups on my active trader chart, but we get a big number on the downs and it gets sucked up or taken off. I don't know which. No.
Okay, S&P is going for it now.
Yeah. So is NAS.
We've got three triple bottom there, triple tie. Wow, three-way tie. That low. Yeah, should take it out this time. So we got three-way tie on the S&P. They're going for it. Oh, four-way tie on the S&P. Wow. So I would expect them to take it out. That's amazing. You don't usually see four candles hitting the low and not going through. There we go. So there's S&P. So we could get divergence here. So S&P is taking the low. They tried 3 times, and then the 4th time they went through. Wow, NAS cannot make it. See, NAS is not doing it.
No, it's having a struggle doing it.
Yeah. So this could be the divergence at that point. So interesting here. So based on that, I could take a buy on the NAS. Now gone up a bit too high for me here. If we come back a little bit, there we go. So I'll take a stab at a buy here on the NAS. Since the NAS cannot break that low, S&P broke it. Let's see if we can continue out without coming back down as expected. So this is a leap of faith here on the NAS to leave without going to take the low, as I was expecting them to do. So if I'm wrong, then they're going to come and take this low right here. That would be my risk. That would be my first trade of the morning. Let's see if I'm correct. And I'd be looking for them to go back up and take out the high. So it looks like I could. My bid and ask are pretty wide here, so I could get taken out. Well, could get taken out here. So that would be a nice trick on their part here if they do take me out.
They took you out?
No, not yet, but very close.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Very close to taking me out. Quite close. The S&P went again and tied that low that they just made. So Still going down a little bit there. Could have been a little premature jumping in. We'll see.
The Dow broke the recent low on the 1 minute.
It's Martin.
Yeah, hi.
Hello, Martin.
Yeah,
Well-
Martin. Yeah, there's the Dow going down still. Okay, so I could be in trouble because that means that maybe I was a bit premature jumping in too early. So they could take me out and take out that low still. But it looked like we had a nice divergence here that could take me back out. Still possible, but it's very choppy in here. So I'm taking a big risk jumping in at this point. But being wrong would mean they're breaking that low again. So I might be correct here. Might just be correct here. Get out of there. How are you, Martin?
Yeah, the bottom is I'm well.
Good.
and I'm still in awe about your ability to get up that early.
Yeah, don't be.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. I was so tired yesterday. We had a lot of stuff going on at our place here, and and so yeah, I was doing a lot of moving of toilets and all that kind of stuff. Oh, so I was wrong. So
They're making
I get
me assault.
So there goes my win streak. So right there, and I'm doing it based on divergence. So because S&P broke the low and NAS couldn't break the low, I'm thinking, okay, maybe we will get divergence and continue up without breaking the low here, because we do have a 1, 2, 3. We drop, we're chopping up. So the expectation is that we would take the low. So since S&P took it and NAS couldn't take it, I'm jumping in based on that premise. However, that is not playing out at this point. But again, I could have put my stop too tight. Maybe I should have put my stop here, and that might have been okay. So we'll see if that was the case. I wanted to be a little tight.
It's questionable, Lennox. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if I put my stop here and I'm totally wrong and they come right through, then I'm getting a way bigger loss than being here. So I'd rather take a small loss if I'm going to take a loss. But I could still be right and they go up without taking this low. But we shall see here. So let's go back to S&P. So S&P clearly has swept that low where NAS still cannot do it. So we could still be getting divergence. So this might have just been a little ploy to take everyone out who decided to go in based on divergence, because there's lots of liquidities underneath these, and they might still not take this low here. So quite interesting here. We've got a 1, 2, 3 now. So if we break above, then I could jump in at this level to continue out. So quite interesting here. But looking at the overall picture, we have our structure here where let me see if I can get my crayon here. We've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 wave move. We pull all the way back in. So we are looking for a turnaround move to go back up. So we're in that sweet spot area. So this in itself is a 1, 2, 3. That's a larger 1, 2, 3. So if we went up to a higher time frame, like 15, then you can see that whole thing becomes a 1, 2, 3 at that point. There's our 1, there's our 2, there's our 3. So we would be looking for price to come back up again. The 30-minute, there's that move. We're looking for price to come back up. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to go and take this high, but the trajectory overall is to the upside. So we would kind of want to see price continuing to the upside. But this could be a high of highs, and we could just come halfway or something and turn back, continue down. So there's no guarantee that this is going to go through that high. So on the hourly, big strong move all the way up, this could be a high. 4 hour. So we've taken out the highs here, which is what we were expecting from the higher time frame, that we would take out these highs. We did take it out. So at this point, this could be the highest point that we go to for this move. And then we could see a retrace of this entire move here back down. So it is a possible ploy that they're pushing on us and enticing everybody to go long to take everybody down. So that's a 4 hour. And then on the daily, again, it's the same kind of move. We're in a very strong, the overall trend bias is to the upside, of course. And we've just taken out the previous highs. So we're looking for them to continue to go up and take out this high. However, we could see a pullback before we do that. So that's a possibility, right? So that's, if we keep that in mind, that's kind of where we're sitting. So back down to the 1. Yeah, they're still playing around in here. So there's no, yeah, S&P's falling further. See S&P. So S&P's move. We're down 79% almost already on this retrace. So we should be looking for a turnaround imminently here. Boy, I hate losing. That was just nasty that they did that to me. So I've got to get back. So very choppy. They still haven't taken the low.
I mean, it's still up in the air what they're playing, accumulating.
So it would seem likely that we would take the low, because they're just chopping around right now.
Entirely possible.
Because we do have a 1, 2, 3 here. Now they chop it all up in here. And so we should take that low. S&P's taking the low. So again, it's very interesting at this point because of this low right there. So divergence is still in force. And it's quite a pronounced divergence at this point. Got this divergence here on the S&P and on the NAS, it's this way. So it's quite pronounced. We're getting the same chop, but we're getting the chop in a different angle. So we're chopping this way on the S&P, and we're chopping the angle is not as steep on the NAS. So that's why they can't take the low. Very interesting here. So not much of an algo happening here.
I don't even see one at this point.
It's very choppy.
This is all consolidation here.
So at 10 o'clock, it's our 10 o'clock time, and we're still stuck in this chop, so not much going on. And in the interim, Bitcoin has made quite the Bitcoin was a great play from up the top here. That beautiful 1, 2, 3 originally, right after the open. Look at that move. So that would have been the play, just catching Bitcoin coming down. So Bitcoin's trajectory right now is straight down. So we chopped through this mess. They swept the lows, came back up, did not take the highs again because they've already swept everybody out. So these were the only ones left. Create a one. This is a large 1, 2, 3 at that point, and then we get that little 1, 2, 3 there, and then this drop. So very nice move on Bitcoin out of this choppy area. 30-minute. So now you can see the overall structure on Bitcoin on the 30-minute. We get this 1, 2, 3 here. We drop. So we would expect that they would take this low. They do that. They chop it, take the low, and now stop. Well, on the hourly, you have a low here that's a possible takeout.
Okay, they're going to take out the low now. Yep, they just did it.
But there's our structure. On the NAS, we've taken the low.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So that's a change of events then. If we have. Yes. Okay. So now it's a totally different ball game. All right. So now there's no more divergence. Or divergence is no longer. So I thought that maybe that divergence might have held at that point in here, but they said nope, they're going down. All right. So I'm looking for a turnaround 1, 2, 3 now. So I can jump in on a fractal at this point. Let's just see where I am. Came back into a gap down here. So they're coming back up quickly. We've got a fractal happening here. I'm looking for is another little pullback here.
We should get
To
one.
give me a 1, 2, 3. So they're taking out the highs first, and we might take these all out first, and then pull back. And that's fine if they do that. So we would get a double sweep, and we could get a sweep of these guys, a sweep of these guys, maybe even a sweep of this high, and then a retrace, and that would give us a nice 1, 2, 3 to go. So that's something that's we can wait for. So that would mean I was just a tad premature jumping in up here instead of waiting for them to take the low, which it didn't look like they were going to do. Let's see if that happens here.
Still looks like they want to go for some more down. Ew.
Okay, getting a little bit of a retrace here. I'm going to take the buy at this point. I don't think they're going to come much lower than this. These gaps here might hold us up. All right, so can we leave this area now and head back to the upside? Go for a TP up here again. Oh, they're coming down a little lower. So we do have a little gap there. It's quite a retrace there. So I'm
they're
going to add to my
there's
position.
still
Actually,
more to the negative side at this point.
yeah, it just gives me a chance to add to my position at this point because I'm looking for them to go up. I wasn't expecting them to come down that far, but they are. So I'll take the advantage of it and add. We've got a clean 1, 2, 3 at this point now. Is there 1 or 2 or 3? We swept those highs.
And that 1, 2, 3, you're in the 62% area now.
Yeah.
Maybe going lower.
Be wrong here again if they take out the low. That's kind of where my stop would be, at the low here. See if we can leave this area. Otherwise, they're coming to take this low one more time, which is a possibility.
Which is a possibility, really.
See how S&P is doing at the same spot. S&P's looking like we want to turn around here, but no divergence this time. Yeah, they're lingering too long. Need to go if they're going to go. So they might be setting up to possibly take the low one more time, but hopefully not here, and we'll just go.
Yeah, they almost came back to the 79% area.
Still hanging around. We've got equal lows.
Yeah.
So they can still take it one more time, but again, still looking for them to go. Whenever you get a 1, 2, 3, and whenever we get a 1, 2, 3, and they stay too long in this area, it's not usually a good sign. You want to see, once you get your 1, 2, 3, you want to see price leave, taking out this high as quickly as possible. So whenever they hang around, something is up. They're either still looking to take lows out or even the low. So yeah, hanging around in here for too long is not a good thing. So George and I came up with a rule that if we have 7 candles, and you don't get above that, your number 2 point, then you should exit your trade, because it's just hanging in here too long. So something is not right. We should be out.
Sure.
We should be out within 7 candles, taking out this high. So right now I'm at 5 candles, and say 4 candles from the low. So number 3 points. So 1, 2, 4 candles now. So now they've swept the lows again. They swept these guys out, swept everybody who had stops under here. So hopefully now we can go. But it's very disconcerting when you hang around in here for too long. This low can be in
Especially when
jeopardy.
it's literally traveling to the minus side.
So if we can get at least over this guy here, that's a good sign,
It's been a while since we've been up to there, though.
No, we're just stuck down here. Amazing.
And it just seems as though they're getting closer to the point where they're going to make a move at this.
Yeah, we should be making a move one way or the other here. Can't stay here for an hour, that's for sure. Okay, so they dropped it again, dropping down again. Looking to take the low one more time, perhaps. Let's see, S&P. S&P's taking the low. So now we could be getting divergence again, possibly here.
Yeah.
Possibly. So let's just see. So NAS can't take the low. S&P took the low. So there's some divergence there at this point. So NAS looks good now that maybe that was all they wanted to do, to sweep out all these guys here, and then we continue up.
Yeah, they're still playing.
This is my 7th candle now.
More down coming.
So
More down coming.
do I exit my trade? I hate exiting the trade. So my stop loss would be my exit. So if I'd be wrong, my stop loss would be the low, the low. So that would be my me being wrong on the trade, right? That's what your stop loss is for anyways, right? So
Yep.
if you're wrong, and you move on to the next trade. So that's where my stop loss would be, below the low. Looking for them to continue going to the upside here.
We have more downward pressure coming.
It's a battle right now.
It's trying to pull it up, but boy, it's having a real struggle.
So again, S&P, they swept the low. So we should be going back up. NASDAQ, they could not sweep the low. We should be going back up. So let's see if we can continue up here.
We need to get a good move up. Not this putzing around it.
Otherwise,
It's
I'm
looking
in
like
trouble.
it wants to take out the bottom again.
They might. They might.
It failed to get me positive.
Wow, it's so tepid in here. It's just amazing. So yeah, there are lots of playing around going on in here, lots of accumulation. So we could see them take out the lows again. That's totally a possibility. Totally a possibility because they're hanging around way too long. So saying that they don't have enough possibly here.
Yeah, and we've been doing this since, let me see what time. Since 9:44 Eastern time, we've been,
Since the beginning of time, George.
pardon?
Since the beginning of time, we've been doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm expecting them to go out of there, to go up. So yeah, I'm hanging in there with it. But they can take me out first, though. Again, let's see S&P again. S&P swept the low again. Wow. So NASDAQ still getting divergence on NAS.
It's still trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, it could be in jeopardy here. But putting a stop on, just takes me out. The one thing about putting a stop on is that they can take me out and then just turn around and go. So all they're doing is taking you out.
That's the problem because we've been going so long there.
So they are taking me out, and that's what I usually don't do. I don't put the stop on right away. I just wait. So now they've taken me out, which back-to-back losses, and after having such a nice streak. Okay, so that's all that might be just their ploy, just to take everybody out on that low, and now we turn around and go. So I can be patient again and wait. It's all good. Look for them to take out this high here, give us a 1, 2, 3 here, and continue on. So the reason why they're hanging in here so long is because they're still looking to take out the lows. And even though we get divergence on S&P, it did not last. So that S&P is a lot weaker at this point, certainly. Let me go back up to the 5 minutes. So they're looking now like they want to take out the low of lows, which messes up everything about them going back up in the short term then, if we take that low. So that might have been the whole ploy. And you can see the difference between the NAS and the S&P. We're quite a ways from that low. So the NAS is saying, yeah, yes, we could bounce from here. But the S&P is saying, no, we're way down here. We're going to go through here first. So they're both telling a different story here. So it's very tricky. So S&P is again saying, okay, let's take that low first before we turn around. While the NAS is saying, no, we can't go down there. We don't have enough sellers to go down there or whatever. So it's a very tricky place that we're at. So you can see the difference in the difference is quite pronounced here. So I've got a big gap here on the 15. Yeah, the 5. Tiny gap on the 5. We're right in it. Let me mark that low for the S&P here. Looks like they want to take, these are equal lows, so yeah, it's a likely takeout. of those equal lows.
Now trying to move into positive territory, but
Yeah, this is
I won't be convinced until I see my GAN turn positive.
watch them both. Okay, so NAS is taking out the previous high. So it looks like that's a probable low at this point. Now they can, of course, they can take out the highs and still come back down and take out the lows again.
We got our first positive GAN. See if it can hold it.
So George, may I ask you, what is GAN? Is that GANN?
Yes.
Yeah, right. The GAN that I use is a moving average of the highs and the lows. GAN is one of the very early inventors of a number of indicators and methodologies of handling the market.
Mr. Gann. Mr. Gann.
Mr. Gann, yeah.
All right. So do we take the lows again one more time, or are we done now? Is the question, right? So this is where you can take the risk to enter the trade based off the fact that we've swept the lows, got a low, swept the high, we've come back, we've gone up, come back in. This is a sweet spot area for a trade. However, you take the risk that they could still take the low one more time. So you have to make that decision and decide yes or no, do you want to take that trade? So based on how it looks here, I'm inclined to take another stab at this. I'm calling this low at this point. However, S&P's looking like they could go back down and take out the low one more time there. So it's you see how they play it, and it's very tricky. The S&P could not take out this high where the NAS took out that high. So this is where it gets very tricky. So that means the S&P could easily come back down, take out the low, and take out the low that we were looking at, while the NAS might not. We could get divergence.
It's touch and go at this point.
Yeah, it's very, very, very tricky. So you have to take the risk or not take the risk. So I'm being a risk taker. I like the risk, so I'll take the risk again to jump in. My stop would again be below the low, and I don't mind taking the risk. It's, you can't win unless you take a risk. So I'll take that risk at saying, okay, that's the low. We're not going to come back down any further. However, S&P could sweep one more time, and that could be divergence, or both of them will go and take the low one more time. So which one will it be?
It's a tough call right now.
It's a tough one. It is indeed. So
because right now, even though we still are making positive GANs, they're going slightly lower rather than higher, which is not a good indication that it's going to be sustained.
Yeah, they can go through one more time, take that low. We do have kind of like triple low here.
Well, we're starting to get a tiny bit heftier on the buys, but it's, oops, so much for that. So much for that. They just
Yeah.
changed over. Where are your lows going? It's looking like the buys are coming in again. Nope, there's more lows.
Are we getting some buys? Well, slowly.
Yeah.
So
They
I
switch
jumped
back
in
and
on
forth.
Bitcoin at the low here.
Now they got the lows coming in again.
So Bitcoin is giving me my loss
That'll
back.
keep you in the profit, huh?
Yeah, so I'll take some profits off on Bitcoin here real quick. So jumping in, and reason why I'm jumping in on Bitcoin is because they came down, gave me a 1, 2, 3 here, dropped it down, another one, came back down, swept the lows. So once they swept the lows, as soon as I get a fractal, I take the trade. So catch this move. So looking for them now to a little bit of a retrace and continuation to take out the sellers from up here. So continued push. So my stop on Bitcoin would be at the low. So that means I'm wrong if they come back down, take that low, and that's all there is to it at that point. So that's going to the 5-minute time frame. If I'm wrong, they'll take the low, which is possible still. They can still take that low.
Oh, they're still pushing this thing
And
down.
my TP would be back up at the highs here for Bitcoin for that run. So NAS, still a battle trying to get out of there, eh? Wow.
Still playing games with us.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, now I've got some positive buys coming in. They just got sucked up and the lows are coming in now. Jesus. And they're about even. Now the buys are coming. They're about even again. Oh no, there's more buys. Sells
feeling good about this once we take the high. And we get that move, get another retrace and a continuation. That would be good. So sweep, retrace, good buying opportunity. Do we make that move out now?
Let's see if the GAN can remain positive. Nope. Better wait till the candle closes. They're looking to push it down again.
No way, George. We're heading out and up now.
I know. I'm just looking at the downs, though, are exceeding the ups. And it just means that there's a delay coming in and then it pushes back down. But we now have two positive GAN signals. Well, one really is closed. The other one is still open. But they're still pushing down. There's the down.
Yeah, equal lows. They're still going to go for that. Wow. Let's see S&P. S&P's already taken the low, so either we're going to get divergence or I'm going to be taken out again on that move. So they swept the low. So very sneaky here. They swept that low, and we still have divergence happening. So
Well, we didn't sleep low on the NAS.
no, I'm talking about the intermediate low right there. This one. We haven't swept the low, but they swept this intermediate low.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
Whereas
Yes.
S&P has swept the low, and so they might just sweep that little low there without going back down to take the low, if that makes sense. But there's still a little bit of a battle here, just not getting that move out that I'm expecting. So quite interesting here. Yeah, still a struggle. Let me look at them both at the same time. So you can see the struggle that's going on. S&P cleared the lows, no problem. NASDAQ says, I don't really want to. So we've got divergence again. Divergence. So can we leave without...
We need more buys. Come on, more buys. Come on, you need more buys than that.
So we could still get taken out because they're just playing around here. They're still accumulating. So because we have divergence, this could propel the NAS up without taking out the lows one more time. We'll see here.
We've had a whole hour of this playing around.
So it makes this game fun. What are they doing, eh? Wow. Yeah, let me go back to here. I wanted to see what Tesla might be telling us something here. Tesla is saying, yeah, I'm trying to go back up. Tesla's trying to go back up. So yeah, nice one.
As soon as I get buys coming in, the sells pop up.
Yeah, still choppy.
Oh, it's choppy as all get out. But I got some big numbers on the sell, so they're going to be going down for a bit. If sure it's...
We're into a macro. The 1050.
Well, if the macro takes us up, that'd be nice.
Yeah, okay, 1050 macro is just in play.
We got rid of those buys. I mean,
you could see a push out. Could see a push out now, hopefully. Getting us out of here, but it's still very choppy.
No,
so could still be in jeopardy here.
Buys are coming in, so it's be pulling it down. We use them up, and I'm not getting more sales come in. Frustrating.
They're not going to make it easy for us, George.
That's for sure.
It's not like, oh, George and Lennox are playing, so let's give them a break. No, doesn't happen. So yeah, they're still chopping, and looks like I'm going to be in jeopardy.
The buys are coming in, so it's going to pull it down a bit.
So that's the trick of the 1, 2, 3. We get to a low point. Everything looks pretty good. We got a nice 1, 2, 3, looking like we should just go take out these highs and continue on. That's what will be the expectation. But they're saying no. We're staying down here. We're gonna chop it up. We're looking to take out the lows here as well, and that they can do that, no problem. Spike it down, take you out, then make a nice 1, 2, 3 and go. So at this point here, this is what I thought we were gonna do and go, but they're saying no, they're not done yet. So it's just a choppy affair, and it's tough playing. So you can expect to get chopped out, and losses are part of the game, especially if you want to play in chop. So ideally, we don't want to be playing in chop, but this is part, you want to be able to catch the move out, yes, but it's difficult sometimes to catch that move. When you think you're done, you're not done, and so on, because they haven't accumulated enough orders to take their millions out. There are millions of orders out. So this is what happens. So it's looking like we're going to go lower, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
the S&P was telling the truth, and it's taken out that low. Yeah. So S&P was not lying to us that they were going down lower.
There we go.
On the 30-minute, since we've broken that low, what do we have here on the S&P? We've got a gap here right below. Come into that gap. So we could be coming down quite a ways here. So I was just looking for a bounce here to go back up, just to give us a little bit of a retrace of this move, but they're not doing it. Okay, so even Bitcoin has stopped me out as well. So Bitcoin, my stop didn't work. Actually, I moved my stop up below this candle instead of the low. So because it looked like they were gunning to take out the lows. So I thought, okay, let's give them less of a loss in here. So Bitcoin has also turned back to the downside. So looking at Bitcoin overall here. The 5 minute. So still looking very lean. I thought maybe we'd get a bounce here, but they're not giving us a move, a retrace either. So we're not completely done on Bitcoin. 30-minute. They're going to take that low. So I thought we'd get a bounce here, but nope, not happening yet anyways. So this would have been a good point here that yes, they can take that low.
Looks like
now they have, and we could get a bounce here. But I thought maybe we get a bounce first. Sometimes they do that bounce first before they come back down, but so they're actually going to take the low first. All right, so they take the low out. So our structure is now they come back and take it. So that's what happens. You get that move up. They do the structure like that, and then they come back to take this low, and that's what they've done here. So this low here is this low here. There's the structure move, and then they come back to take this low. So that's a total possibility. Let me clear this all up and make sense. They do that move and drop it down, take out this low. So I'm still looking for a play to go back up, to come back up and take out these highs. So I need a 1, 2, 3 down here to come back up. So yeah, I can suffer a couple losses and so forth, but it's all good because you can make it back in short order if you're patient and willing to take the risk. So I'll go back down on the 1 minute and still look for a turnaround here, because now we've taken that low. We could be very close to turning around for real here. So this is just a little ploy on their part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they did come back and sweep that low one more time. So we can get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Then we get a 1, 2, 3 to go back up. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here now on Bitcoin. All right, so on that note, S&P, let's go up to the 30 on S&P. So the same kind of thing. We get the 5-wave move from this low on the 30. They go up. So we would expect they would take this high. They do. Once they've taken that high, then we would expect that they would take this low, and they do. So we can go much lower, of course. So I'm looking for, once they take this low, I'm looking for a bounce here. And then we could see another drop like that. That's a possibility. So that's why I'm looking for a bounce here. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen for me, but that's kind of what I would expect at that point. All right, so we're starting to get a little bit of a bounce. So let's see on the NAS, go to the 30-minute on the NAS, same kind. So NAS now, the same type of, if I just put that pattern back on, see, it's the same kind of thing, expecting them to take this low, but they're not doing it. They're way higher than the S&P. So it's a total divergence right there. So if I mark that divergence, see what I mean? Like that, and then S&P has now broken that. So it's divergence, right? So it's quite pronounced, quite interesting here. So we're getting a turnaround now. So are we done?
It's not the greatest turnaround yet, though. It's trying, but we'll see what happens.
So it's definitely a pronounced divergence on the higher time frame. So it's looking like, again, we get the sweep of the lows. So sweep here, sweep here. They could sweep here as well. These two, we could go up, come back in, and then a go. So still looking for that. So right here we have a 1-2. So we could go up one more time, take out these highs. So no divergence here because S&P and NAS are the same here practically. So I'm just looking for a turnaround 1, 2, 3 bottom now. So if I make this bigger, what I'm seeing again is that we've swept. We've got a 1, 2, 3 here. So we're looking for another move up to take out these guys, and then a retrace back to continue up. So that's what I would be looking for at this point.
The good news is that we started a positive again.
Gap here. Okay, so they're taking out all of these guys now. So they might leave these ones alone. That one they'll leave alone more than likely, or not. And then we come back in. So it looks like they want to they take them out too. Okay. So they're taking everybody out. So now I need a retrace. So will they retrace? Maybe not, because now that they've taken everybody out, they've fooled everybody into going long, of course, right? So now that they've taken everybody out who's gone long, they might not go back, and they'll just keep going, because we're getting these gaps now that could be just breakaways, just take off without even coming back. But we've got the sweeps of the sellers. All the sellers now are gone, right?
Yep.
All the buyers are gone down here, except for these guys. These are the only ones left, and these guys under here. So looking for a retrace here. Do we get it? That's going to be the big question here. And it's the same thing that's happening on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is swept the same type of logic. They swept the lows. They've swept the highs. So we're looking for a retrace here on Bitcoin to continue going back up. Do we get the retrace? Maybe, maybe not. They might not retrace. They might just do a little blip and continue up without everybody. So there's never any guarantee. It's a gap here. It could come back there. I'd like to see them come back down, but they might not do it. So
Right now, it's looking a heck of a lot better than it has
yeah,
at
so it's
any
just,
other time.
jumping in prematurely sometimes. That's what happens. It did make a little bit of profit, but nothing dramatic. So let's see if we can get a retrace here. So now I could mark off my 50%. So looking for them to come back at least to this order block right here. So they might just come back to the order block area here, and that could give us that push. But we have a gap here, so they might not go through this gap. They could just continue from here. So it could put a limit order, to the open of that order block. Do a buy here if I can come down a little further. Okay, so I'll take that buy here on NAS now, because we come back to the order block very close to 50%. I don't know if they're going to go below 50% at this point. It doesn't look likely that they will. So I'll take that opportunity to jump in just above 50%. I'm buying premium, but sometimes they don't come all the way down below 50%. So this order block might just be enough for them to push us up at this point. My stop loss would then just be below the order block, in essence, right there.
Right now, we need another push up.
Yeah. They are coming down below 50%, so I could be in jeopardy
Yep.
here. It's equal lows here, so they could take me out. Yep. So didn't work for me. So they're coming all the way back down into this gap. All right. So that's why I hate putting the stops on, because they take you out like that. So I'll buy it again at this point. So now I'm below 50%. So it didn't look like they were going to do it, but they did do it. They came right back down into this gap. So if you bought it with a buy limit at the order block, you're in premium, and you put your stop down below the order block, you're taken out. So if you put your stop below the candle low here, you're still taken out. So where do you put, you have to put your stop way down here. It's just prohibitive. Your risk is so high. I don't like that kind of risk. So most of the time what I do, because I'm believing that this is going to take us out, I will leave the stop off and wait to see if they do come, continue down. If they're going to continue down, then yes, I can exit the trade type of thing. But the stop is just a target for them to take you out. So let's see if I'm correct this time, and we'll continue up. So again, my stop would be like below this low here, or the candle that formed the gap, which is the red. But that's still quite prohibitive to stop. So this would be a better stop. Okay, we're at 8:15 almost, 8:13. Okay, so I'll go another 15 minutes if you guys are okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, then I can go back to bed. Okay.
Yeah, sounds like a plan for me as well. Yeah. Yeah, we're three of us here are from the west coast of North America, of Canada. So yeah, we are up early birds. The early bird gets the worm, I hear, but
It's very wormy
Sometimes.
here today. Very wormy. Very wormy. Lots of worms.
or the early bird gets the stop outs. Eh? Yeah.
Well, you're keeping your losses to a minimum, right? Like small losses.
Yeah, trying. That's the key, right? If you're gonna lose, make sure you lose small. But sometimes easier said than done, right? So if I'm following my rules and so forth, I'll be looking. Okay, put my stop here. That's a reasonable stop. That's not very much risk there. I have a large account, so it's not. This is nothing, like in the grand scheme of things, to put a stop there for. So I'm putting it purposely below the midpoint of this gap, because just in case they decide to swing back down one more time to take this low, which they can, which they are.
They just changed the
So they can do that, boom, and take you out and go. And you see, so if I have my stop just below the mid, and it didn't work, even that, oh my word. So that's why I hate putting the stop in. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting trashed this morning here. This is highway robbery going on. So it's still looking that we're going to go back up. So I'm liking this to go back up still, but I could be totally wrong. This divergence might not hold, and they could still come through one more time. Let's see how S&P looks. S&P is taking the low again. So you see S&P is taking that low, and NASDAQ has not. So we could be either getting divergence again. You see what's happening. So this is how they trick everybody, right? And so S&P is taking the low. NASDAQ cannot take the low. So we're getting divergence this way and this way. So are we done? or are they going to go lower and bring this down one more time, right? So it's very, very super tricky stuff here, guys. Not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not.
So do we go one more time down, take out the low on S&P, and that brings NASDAQ down one more time to take out the low? You see, it's very tricky here. So my stop was just below halfway point, and they got me by a tick. I purposely put it below the halfway point because I'm expecting them not to come through, but they do come through by a tick and get me there. So are we done or not? Right? So we've taken out the high here. So do we just go now, or do we come back down to take the low one more time, right? You see? So this is where it's very tricky. It takes steel nerves here. All right, so everything's looking pretty good. We've got a sweep of the low, sweep of the low. We've got a push back up, sweep of the highs. We've got a retrace back in, right? Sweep of the highs, retrace back in. But they took the low here, so S&P didn't do it properly here at this point. So this is where the trick is. So does S&P come down one more time, take the low? Does NASDAQ come down one more time, take this low? This is what the NASDAQ is correct. The NASDAQ is telling us the truth here, more so than the S&P is, because the S&P has taken this low, so we wouldn't have expected that at this point. We would have thought, okay, we're going to go back up, but they came and took the low again. So I'm liking the NAS to go, but I need to pull back one more time. So I need a pull back into this area to go. And this pullback shouldn't take this low out because we've already swept these guys. So there's no need for them to come and take this guy one more time, but we'll see. Let's see.
Well, I don't want to make a distraction here, but I've been watching this one stock called CoreWeave, which is tied into NVIDIA. And it's been doing nothing but going straight up until today. It's had a pullback about 7-8%. So might be a buy opportunity.
They're called CoreWeave?
Yeah, CoreWeave.
One word?
Yeah, I think so. I'll get the symbol. It's CRWV.
CRWV.
Yep.
No. CRWV. I don't get that.
You don't get it?
No.
Oh.
Oh boy. What the?
It's COREWEAVE.
No, I don't get anything. Not
No.
found. Oh, I'm in futures. That's why. I'm sorry. That's why it's not showing up. There it is. My apologies. I was in the futures tab. Okay, so a quick look on the daily. Yeah, definitely. You see, you're telling me about it at 125. You should have been telling me about it at 35. See? So no good at 135.
No, I'm not saying it is good. I'm just saying it's it was incredible. It's just come
nobody
back.
hears about it at 35. They only hear about it when it's at 125.
Well, no, a lot of people heard about it. It wasn't, it's like,
obviously, because it did go up to 135. So
do you believe?
Yeah.
Do you believe it's going to be good? I guess
at 130. Well, okay, we look at it again. CRWV, right?
Uh-huh.
So if we look at it, if we had known about it when it was at 35,
yeah,
right? Now the question would be, would you have bought it? So at 35 on the daily, we had a 1, 2, 3. So Yeah, it would be a good buy. Even if we just went up to here to 60, you double your money. You
Yeah.
know? So yeah. But if you sold here, then you'd be crying because I didn't get, I shouldn't have, you know what I mean? So
Well, some people like to short things. Like this is a very
short possibility. Yeah.
exponential growth curve here. So
Oh, big time. That's a huge exponential growth
the
curve.
opportunity might be to the downside, at least on the short term. I mean, obviously today it was, 7%, right? So
Yeah. Yes, sir. I get it.
I don't buy things until they're like, 300% up, and then I buy it.
Yeah, because most of us don't hear about these things until they're way up there, and then it's like, and everybody's piling in when it's up high, which is not the right thing to do.
Well, it's like anything. It's like, you think it's going to keep on going, right? And you got the confidence now because, well, look at where it's come from and where it's gone to. So it's like, this should be good, That's,
Yeah,
I think, isn't that the popular psychology of it all?
that is. So look at what they did with me on NAS. By a tick, they take me out, and then I get the move that I was looking for all this time. So this is just the way the game is, and you have to be able to, not cry about missing opportunities and so forth. But excuse me one second while I just wipe my tears here. But yeah, this is, yeah, by putting the stop in a little too tight there. Had I just put it below the gap, I would have been fine on this move. So now at this point, I would be expecting again a retrace. So I can still get in before the train really leaves the station here. The train's starting to leave the station, but you can get a little bit of a pullback still to continue out. So I'm looking for that at that point. So the difference between the S&P and the NAS at this point was the S&P went back down one more time to take the low, while the NAS did not. So we got divergence. And now that we've done that, S&P, we look for them to take that high and give us another pullback to continue again. So same kind of thing. So at this point on the NAS, again, I'm looking for a pullback one more time here. So if we can get a pullback, that would be the ride to the upside. That should take us back up a little bit into this move. So will we continue back up to take out the high or not, right? So you have to be careful about looking for the high. I mean, it looks pretty good though. We've got a nice one on the 5 minute now. We've got a nice 1, 2, 3. We should be able to take a good ride up and challenge that high. So now it'd just be a matter of getting in on this train here and get a nice seat. So I'm going to put the fibs here. So looking 50% retrace that area.
Well, Tesla made a nice move up.
So was Tesla giving us the hints that yes, we were heading to the upside? I thought that's what they were kind of doing. It was a bit choppy still though, but very choppy here. But they made a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom, and then off we went. So they swept out everyone who were buying earlier. So they're very, very mean here. So we get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. Now 1, 2, and then we're leaving. So looking pretty good that Tesla should continue pushing up. We could get a pullback, of course, and then continuation, but looking pretty good there. So how much of a pullback do I get on the NAS? Can I get below 50%? Maybe, maybe not. There's a tiny gap right there, so might come back to that gap perhaps. Very close. Let's see if we can drop a little further. Okay, so that's not bad. So I'm going to take that buy right there around 50, very close to 50%. It might come a little lower, but we'll see here. If they come down lower, then I'll add to my position. But I'm looking for them to continue going back up from here. Of course, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then they're coming back down to take this low out, which doesn't look reasonable at this point. So it should be continuing to the upside here. This is a classic, would be a classic play, sweep, retrace, sweep again. Oops, that's not a very good line. Sweep again, retrace, go. Okay, so is this far enough, or do they come down further? There is an order block here, so they could come down a little lower, certainly. If they do drop down here, I'd buy some more to go. And again, I would look for a TP up at the highs. Are we good to go out of there now, or what? There's still a bit of fakery going on here.
This has been playing games with us all.
Yeah, it looks like they want.
morning.
Yeah, they thought they. Yeah, it looks like they wanted to come back down to the order block. So on that, I'll buy some more if they come back to the order block. Very close here. We could see another drop to that order block. If I mark that order block, you get to see what I'm talking about. It's like that space there on the order block could come back into that. They did touch it. They actually did touch the top, the wick. So that might have been enough. And then we go. So if we can get above the high, that'd be a great sign. And look for those targets up at the high. So
Let's see if we can get a little bit of a push up now. Trying, but it's struggling. Looks like it's gonna fail.
He might be coming back for the lows one more time. That's a possibility. But hoping that that's not the case. We'll just continue up here. You just remember that if they want to go up, they're going to go down first to get anybody that they can, right? All the orders that they can. So they came right back to that spot. So they didn't go through. Interesting. So yeah, well, that's interesting that they didn't take the low. I thought they would take them out, but had they done that, that would have been oh, they might try it again. So let's see. If they try it again, I'll buy more. So this is our slingshot now. So our slingshot is set. We've pulled it back. We pulled it back now, and we're looking for that to release to sling us up. So they might take this low one more time here. Looks likely.
Yeah, the Dow is still dropping.
30 stocks in the Dow. Yeah, they've swept the low. Yeah, and we don't look at the Dow too much, but because there's only 30 stocks in this thing, so it's a little different chart than it's very weak though, eh? So going down. So they're really coming down into 50%. So 50% of this move on the Dow, we're almost there. There's a little gap right there. Big order block here. So yeah, this is a good turnaround area for the Dow. We're right in that sweet spot area for a turnaround. So yeah, we could see the NAS. We could see the NAS turning around imminently here as well. So did they go through? They still haven't done it. Lots of equal lows now. So the likelihood is that yes, they will drop it through and take these guys out. All these, lots of stops under here, I'm sure. So had my stop not being hit here, then that would have been nice profit. I could have taken profits off and looking to add to my position as we come back in. So they messed me up there with that stop out. And they're not going through. Interesting. They're just hanging there. So still looking for them to drop it through. And they do finally now. Okay, so that's enough for me to buy here. Yes. Okay, so I'll take the buy. One more buy here. Oops. Sorry, guys.
Still have cells.
Old homes down there in Trinidad. Okay, so now I need them to get out of here to the upside. Still going down.
Still on the negative side.
Yeah, still a little bit weak in there. Okay, that's enough, guys. Let's go. Down a bit more. Where would my stop be? So that's quite a spike. So there's no safe here, right? With your stop. You see, they spike it down so ruthlessly with the wick, and anyone hiding under these lows gets taken out, right? So there's no safe in here. You have to put it down here. That would be where you'd say, okay, that's probably the most safe spot for a stop, because if you're wrong and they break that low, then you're wrong. You're totally wrong. So we don't want to see them break that low. We want to see a retrace here. So tempting to buy more at this point, but I need to see a little bit more push up, taking out these highs, a little retrace, something like that. Then I'd feel a little bit better about the whole setup. So can we get that push out? This has been a battle.
It's been a real battle. And
oh, we're at 37
for a while,
minutes
it looked like we were reversing the strength towards the upside, but now it's...
Oh my, S&P is taking the low again. Wow. Yeah, so it's doing, yeah, it's not doing what I'm expecting here at all. So it's a tough one this morning. So we've got another sweep by S&P. So we've got divergence again with the NAS at that point. So you see how we've got the sweep here, but not on the NAS. So that's quite the divergence here. They're really chopping the S&P up. NAS is a little stronger.
I think they chopped both of them up sufficiently.
Still liking them to go out of here, but man, it's tough. Here we're getting a nice push finally. Let's see if that's the real McCoy. We can get over that high. That would be good. S&P has to climb above this high. But look at them both. So S&P has broken the high this high here on the NAS. This high on the S&P. So we've cleared it. So that's a good sign that we need to clear that high there. And we've done it on the S&P, haven't done it on the NAS yet. So it's looking pretty good that this could be the low here, and we could head straight up. Pretty messy kid stuff. Is this it finally? It's S&P. Yes. All right, so we'll see how this plays out, guys. We're 41 minutes after, so I'm gonna call it a morning. And so looking for them to continue going up. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of the day here. But yeah, quite interesting.
Okay, everyone have a good day. Have a good
Well,
rest,
thank you.
West Coast. And it's evening, and for you, Martin, have a good one.
Well, thanks, and see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, Lennox.
All right. Thanks, George. Peter,
Thank you.
Armin.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of the day. And for those on YouTube, thanks for dropping in. Oh, by the way, I did jump into Bitcoin again, and Bitcoin's saving me. Bitcoin's always saving me. So Bitcoin is always a good play. So I'll see if NAS can help me out as well. Have a good rest of the day, everyone.
Okay.
Again, for YouTubers, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of the day.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.